This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers. Our topic today is Mercari versus Poshmark, Poshmark versus Mercari. We're continuing our Versus series, and hopefully you'll tune in tomorrow or share this out with a friend, let somebody else know about the Versus series. So I will be honest and transparent. I sell on Mercari for sure. I don't sell on Poshmark for a few different reasons, but I do have an account and I have sold and listed there. So let's talk about the differences between Mercari and Poshmark. So with Mercari, you do have lower fees. That is a con for Poshmark. They do have a little bit higher fees. Um, it's both of them are easy to list. So you can easily list your items. You use it. It's a mobile app. So both of them are mobile apps. You take a picture in your mobile app, and then you can go ahead and list the item. Put in the details, the title, description. Make sure you take amazing pictures, and be able to list your item on their platform. So the steps to go through and list are not terribly hard. With Mercari, you do have some selling features like promotions and discounts and things like that. There is a private chat facility, so if somebody wants to chat with you about, your product or ask you a question, you can do that privately. On Mercari, you can sell almost anything, like pretty close to almost anything. There's a list of things that you can sell, but the list is definitely longer than the list is on Poshmark. So you can sell more things on Mercari than you can on Poshmark. And the shipping is potentially lower than it is on Poshmark. The reason is because if I were to sell a pair of earrings, my shipping cost on Poshmark is they start with the default standard shipping of like $7.45 or something like that. Whereas with Mercari, I can definitely ship it for way less than that. So it depends on what it is that you're selling and what the initial default shipping is going to be. The shipping had traditionally always been lower on Mercari, but with the USPS raising their prices, the shipping cost may gone up a little bit. So again, you may find that a lot of the things that you sell on Mercari, the shipping is lower. Now, the pros of selling on Poshmark, well, it is a social marketplace. So there's a lot of sharing, and you can host virtual parties and things like that. Um, so you'll find that they try to mimic more of a social interactive platform than Mercari. Like you're not doing all that on Mercari. It is easy to list. There's lots of different selling features. They have more selling features than they do on Mercari, just a few more. And they also have a free authentication program for luxury items over $500. So that should give you a hint. You have the opportunity to sell higher price things on Poshmark. So I think hence the word posh in the name Poshmark. In addition to that, there's no return once a buyer has received and accepted the item. So once they received and accepted, there's no return, which is fantastic. Good feedback is shown on Poshmark. Again, it's more of a social platform, so they're sharing good feedback. And the payouts are fast on Poshmark compared to Mercari, so a little bit of a slower payout. And you can sell higher priced items, as I said before. So the cons of selling on Mercari, there are from time to time some system quirks. I've experienced this. Like I've sold an item and then the item popped back up and I was like, I don't know what's going on there. And then I've sold an item and people have made offers to me like 6 days later. I'm like, why is that? So it's a little weird to me sometimes. Things that you've sold sometimes it'll show the sold and available items, and so then people are making offers for something. I'm like, it's already sold. So I've had to just flat out delete it so that way, because it was already inactive. So I don't know. That's happened to me personally. I've heard other people have that happen to them as well. The shipping cost is rising. So, and that's because of the fact that they'll use the carriers. And of course, USPS has raised their price just a little bit. And so have the other carriers. So there's going to continue to be a little bit of a rise in the shipping, but it's still, comparatively speaking, less than Poshmark. So that's good. Then they have slower payouts than Poshmark. That is true. And there are stories, people have had challenges with scammers on Poshmark. So that's unfortunate. I think you're going to scammers are going to show up on any platform. It's not specific to Mercari. It is not. So, you have scammers on Amazon, okay? But there's some stories that have rolled around of scammers. So there's different Facebook groups you can join in, and they'll talk about, what they've experienced with the scammer. So that's another thing. And I will tell you with Mercari, they do in favor, or they in most cases, of the buyer. So that creates some of the challenges of dealing with scammers. And then bargain shoppers are the ones that are mainly on Mercari. So they're looking for a deal. They're going to definitely make you an offer. You can ignore it. Same thing with Poshmark. They make you an offer. You can ignore it or you can accept it. So you're going to find some bargain shoppers looking for a deal on Mercari. But Mercari is starting to get a lot more traffic. There's a few other things about Mercari. Like you can do local pickup. They've partnered with some of the rideshare services so that you can do local pickup and have the rideshare deliver it to you, which is pretty cool. So Mercari is continuing to enhance and make changes to their platform, and I do like that. Now with Poshmark, I will tell you that they run contests, and Mercari does too, but not the same way Poshmark does. Like Poshmark sent me an email to enter the contest to win $10,000 just by listing something new. And so they do different promotions to drive traffic to their platform. So that's a good thing. They will do promotions. The cons of selling on Poshmark is they do have a little bit of higher fees than Mercari, comparatively speaking. The potentially higher shipping. So the shipping is higher for a lot of things, especially if you're selling small things. Like you can sell the same small thing on Mercari and pay less in shipping. It can be time consuming because it is a social sharing marketplace. And so they are looking for you to interact and communicate and be live. And that is a little bit of a challenge for me. Like I just want to set it and forget it. And I don't want to have to babysit my listings or interact with people just to get people to buy my stuff. Now, that's not 100% required, but it is encouraged so that you can get more eyeballs on the items that you're selling. So that is a difference between Mercari and Poshmark. The customer service is limited to just email. I would say that for a lot of the mobile apps, so it's not just a con for Poshmark. And then you do have a little bit more competition when it comes to some of the wholesale items. They, I forget which section it is inside of Poshmark, but you'll see some wholesale items. So that means there's more competition for your specific item, and you can't sell everything. They have fewer categories in which you can sell products in. So you need to know the takeaway is that you need to know what people are selling on those platforms in order to determine if that platform is good for you. If you don't know what they're selling, then the platform may not be for you. Um, so that may help you in your decisions. Like, okay, what are the types of products I sell? I sell these types of products. So therefore, I probably should sell the products on this platform over that platform. So just saying, something to think about.